My name is Jay Nachlis, and I am the author of Never Trust a Grown Man with a Ponytail, How a Regular Guy Lived a Rockstar Life. And that's important, I guess, to say because that really frames the title as well. I'm just a geeky kid from California that found himself in an internship when I was 15 years old in high school at a radio station. It's mostly a collection of short stories of people that I met, encounters, but there's also personal anecdotes about me that I think help frame and shape why those experiences happened and kind of how it shaped me personally. I don't want this to sound morbid necessarily, but I wanted to get this stuff down before I forgot it. In the sense that, look, life is fragile, anything could happen at any time, and I have all of this stuff up there. I had a grandmother that passed away, she had Alzheimer's. I just wanted to make sure that all these great stories were put down on paper. For me, for my children, for anybody that wanted to read them. And even if the only place that they got was on my computer or on my flash drive, that was okay with me. I needed to bring myself this joy of remembering all that stuff. Honestly, I think that the book is going to be mostly just kind of a fun journey. For most people that read this, because of the time that it took place, you're talking about people that were influential in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, for the most part, right? So Prince, Robin Williams, Lenny Kravitz, Ringo Starr, all of those celebrities. So I think in one respect, the book is most valuable for those that say, what if I could have met those people? What if I were having lunch with Ringo Starr? What would I do? And that's kind of where I'm coming from at it, because I'm not the big record president. I'm just this kid that ends up finding himself with all of these celebrities. And I think that's where the most enjoyment will come from. I think the main challenge in the writing process was, some of it was fear. I would get nervous about putting out the book. There really was the concern of, what are people going to say about it? Will people read the book? And so I had some stops and starts based on that fear that I eventually got over, but that was one of the biggest challenges. The other challenge was how deep should I go? When push comes to shove, I wish I had gone a little bit deeper. That's the only thing I look back at now, because as I tell some of these stories to some people, I then remember other parts of the story and we end up laughing about it. And so I'm thinking I'm going to do some these added value videos where I just expand on some of the stories that are in the book. My favorite books, when it comes to the marketing perspective, are really short books. And I didn't intend for this to happen, but sometimes I get feedback on the book where people say, I really like their short stories. I can get through a bunch of chapters and feel like I can get finality, even though I'm really tired and I drift away. I was a little afraid that would be a negative, and now I think it's a little bit of a positive. I think two of the important things that should be in a media kit are, number one, certainly an excerpt of the book. And when I was thinking about which chapter to use, the one that I used it's called Yes, It Was a Purple Throne, and it's the chapter about Prince. And meeting Prince, who gets to meet Prince? I never expected to meet Prince. And when I met Prince, he was literally on a purple throne and he didn't say one word to me. He just stared at me. And you think about, everybody thinks about, if they met somebody, they overthink, okay, what am I gonna say to them? If I have 1 minute, what am I gonna say to them? And this wasn't one of those meet and greets where they shuffle you through. I had as much time as I wanted with him on his purple throne. There he was. And all I could say was, wow, you're awesome, dude. And gosh, you're such a great guitar player, and Purple Rain, that was awesome. And I just acted like it. And all he did was, and not just, wow, thanks very much. No, just so awkward. I thought that was a good one to do an excerpt of. So excerpt, and then 5 really good interview questions. So what would people want to know from the book that they could? So I took things about Robin Williams and I think Prince and a couple other interview questions that really they do 2 things, right? Number 1 is they would be good interview questions if you got interviewed, but number 2, they're great framing of the book themselves. I decided to self-publish for a couple reasons. Number 1, I liked the control. I thought, self-publishing has come along such a long way, and it's interesting how it still has a bit of a stigma, but most of that is because most people don't realize what self-publishing is. The fact that you can do it on demand the way that you can, the books look so amazing the way they are. So to have that kind of control, I really liked. The other part of it was, it kind of equates to the way that I saw the music industry. which is you have to build a following. It's on you to build a following. It's on you to do the marketing, the networking, to get people to read the book, to sell the tapes, to sell the CDs, the MP3. So start with self-publishing. It's great. It's easy, and it's really, really a great way for people to get the book quickly. You know, for me, this journey of self-publishing has been, it's been awesome. It's been one of the greatest experiences of my life. So to be able to share it, thank you for allowing me to tell the story.